as Latin America and the Caribbean is the most hardly hit developing region of the world by the pandemic, with 8.6% of the world's population, but 30% of the world's mortality rate. The region faces the worst economic recession in 120 years, with more than a third of its population estimated to be living in poverty in 2020. The consensus of the forum was to reaffirm the region's commitment to the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development as the direction of travel during and after the pandemic. The most important short-term priority highlighted by participants was to guarantee the availability of COVID-19 vaccines as a global public good, with a strengthened regional coordination mechanism to procure vaccines and the support of a fully functional COVAX initiative. Participants also highlighted that the pandemic magnifies the structural gaps of the region: inequality, informality, low productivity, and scarce fiscal space, and call upon the international community to facilitate technology transfer and to address the digital divide in the region to continue to adapt, innovate, and apply new ways to work, study, and coexist with the pandemic. The importance of youth engagement and women's economic autonomy were also emphasized in the forum. Another strong message from the forum was mitigating and adapting to the impact of climate change, with the urgent need to take measures to protect biodiversity in the region, develop a vulnerability index, and methodologies for disaster risk reduction strategies. Also, participants called for more liquidity in the financial system, especially in all developing countries, and welcomed innovative financing mechanisms, such as the G20 time-bound suspension of debt service payments for the poorest countries, the Debt for Climate Adaptation Swap Initiative for the Caribbeans, the creation of a Caribbean Resilience Fund, the inclusion of hurricane and pandemic clauses as part of new borrowing arrangements, and the initiative launched by Costa Rica of the Fund Against COVID-19 Economics of FACE. ECLAC presented its report, Building Forward Better, Action to Strengthen the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, which alerts that only a third of SDG targets are on course to be met by 2030, and identifies 8 sectors driving a big push for recovery with equality and sustainability. The energy transition, renewable energies and reduction in the use of fossil fuels, sustainable mobility and urban space, the digital revolution and universalizing access, the healthcare manufacturing industry, the bioeconomy, sustainable development based on biological resources and natural ecosystems, valuing and expanding the care economy, developing the circular economy, and sustainable recovery in the tourism sector. The results of the forum are 94 intergovernmentally agreed upon conclusions and recommendations that have been submitted as a regional contribution to the 2021 High-Level Political Forum on Sustainable Development.